in an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the heavy pressure coming your way, they're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They start the drive with Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So they'll be looking for the win here in Cleveland to complete the season sweep.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
You've got plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At the 20. Off of play action, it's Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
He's going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Jackson. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. From the gun, it's again to Cook. Trying to find a lane, but Instead, he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. They go play action with Jackson.
Ayuk bringing it in on the crossing route here. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have had a few men in the box there.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Throwing is Jackson. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Andrews. That catch good for 8, but still, it's third and goal now.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On third and goal, they're going to run the option.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This from 25 yards. Kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
On the return from his end zone is Grant. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Browns drive about to get started.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
From the 24, Watson.
Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. On fourth down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will be taken at the 13.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now it's Jackson.
Got this complete to Jahan Dotson.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Oh, looking for Andrews downfield.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Jackson to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense.
He's got him in, complete, the 20, and all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland.
Anthony Schwartz,
touchdown number 15 of the year.
And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
This time, the extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone. Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Jackson looking to throw on third. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll take it across midfield and down the 48-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this.
And it is cold.
And it is cold.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Ravens will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown out a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Play action. It's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted.
Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks him right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. They run it again with Chubb.
And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Here's Watson.
Got a man. It's Schwartz, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now it's Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson.
And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down. York able to send this one through.
And the lead stretches. 16-3 now.
They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
After the interception, here's Watson.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. The middle, it's Chubb. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Play action. Now Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Jackson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not?
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews as time expires in the first half.
And the Ravens are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And it's up. This is good, and it makes it a 16-10 game now. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage. Now Cook hit, and he lost the football.
And this is picked up by the Browns. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Jackson going to take this himself.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
Cook. Not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on second and goal? And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal.
They go play action now. Jackson, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Andrews, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game.
And the Ravens are an extra point away now from moving out in front.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the third. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Room here to run. Down the numbers. There he goes. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What did we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Fields this way up at the 17. Yeah, they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Call a no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. On the move to his left.
Able to connect with Dotson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Nice third down conversion and even 20 yards.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
12 more yards there and another first down. Here's Jackson.
Downfield throw tip, but he still got it.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Guaranteed they've been talking a lot about, can we find something that'll go our way? And that tip ball, that definitely just did.
Well, and with this margin manageable, yeah, that gives them a little juice maybe on the tip.
Yeah, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. That could help them get right back in it.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Back to the ground, Cook. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Three tight ends up front here, 3rd and goal.
Jackson now off the bootleg. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. So a big chance goes by the wayside there. A tough break on 3rd and goal.
Yeah, as a general rule, you know you're usually not going to win games with field goals. But in this case, they had 3 points in their pocket. I get what he was trying to do, but that's a big swing of momentum right there.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise him with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a 1st down. Gotta love that efficiency.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And again, it's Chubb.
And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
You'll forgive me if I get excited about what we just saw, though, won't you? I know I'm supposed to be neutral here, but those were terrific plays back-to-back defensively. They know what the mission is. They've got to force a punt here if they want to have a chance to win the game.
They absolutely do. Steps 1 and 2 done. Now they need this 3rd step. To throw is Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable for Grant. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Give him 18 on the play.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they opt.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
Donovan Peoples-Jones
from 6 yards away.
And the Browns are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability. Game here, the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get it.
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Jahan Dotson. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Ravens Ravens have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts as early as opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
From the 30 on second down, Watson looking deep downfield. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
54 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson
over the middle, brought in by Dotson.
Just a gain of a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Jackson to throw.
They'll roll him out right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson doing it himself from 9 yards out. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter.
The return from his end zone is Grant. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, are coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
And this is going to be intercepted. picked off by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
J.K. Dobbins.
46 yards.
And the Ravens have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the fourth.
They do tack on the extra point as well, and they will take a 7-point lead. Justin Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
On the return from his end zone is Grant. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time.
And that's intercepted yet again. And that could be the backbreaker. And the Ravens have just about sewn up this football game.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Cook now off the read option.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
66 yards rushing now for Cook, and this is a first down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter.